Hi, everyone. It is Ashley here, and tomorrow is parent-teacher conferences. So your calendar probably has been generated with all the different requests that you have. I wanted to reach out via video today to go over just a few tips and tricks for these conferences. So I have here just three things I'm going to talk about. One, how can we optimize our device? Virtual conferences is different than we've done in the past. And I want to give you some tips around making sure that tech isn't on your mind. It is more focusing on the student learning and chatting and connecting with parents. Then talk a little bit about how you can help organize yourself. There were some tips and take note, but we can talk about a few more of those. And then also just how to maximize your time and navigating sometimes can be awkward of like trying to stay exactly on time when I'm sure there are some parents who would like to talk to you forever and ever. So let's start with optimizing our device. The first thing I'm going to say is please, please, please restart your device the night before conferences so that everything is running at its highest speed that it can. Secondly, please close all tabs that you do not need. So I might need none of these tabs to the right. I'm going to right click and just say close tabs to the right. Don't have extra tabs open. And you don't actually, and you probably shouldn't, open all these meets and then enter them. All right. We know that a meet can slow down our device considerably. It takes a lot of the power of our device. So closing down anything that you don't need, programs, tabs, and making sure to restart is going to help your device run smoother. I'm going to include to close out software down here that you may have open, especially WhatsApp, so we don't have any notifications dinging through. So do try to quit those. And you may even want to mute other tabs. I have it muted already, but you may want to mute sites like your Gmail that you might want open, but you don't want to think about at that time. So that first one was optimizing your device. Let me see if I missed anything. So just keeping the tabs you need open, restart, and closing down the tabs. Don't open all the Google Meets, okay? Just open one, close that one, and then open your next one, which leads me into organizing yourself. All right, so when we are organizing ourselves, we could look at our Google Calendar and see all of these. This is an example of Sam McGinnis's meetings for tomorrow. She was in earlier and I was going over some of these tips, which is why a big thank you to Sam, why I thought maybe we could share them out with everyone as well, because she was thinking, wow, I have a lot of meetings. I have to make sure that I'm very organized for this. Instead of using this Google Meet to then open up every event and join it and then close and then join, what I would suggest you do, since it's in your calendar, is actually not use the calendar app as the homepage for your day. Go up to these 9 apps and click on the Meet one. And why don't we use Meet's homepage, which shows you the meetings for your entire day. So I can see here, I've invented these because it only shows the day. So when you look at yours, it will not appear. Only the Google Meets that are scheduled end up showing here. So tomorrow, you'll see all of them. And this way, when I enter the meeting, I'm just going to enter here so you can see what this looks like. I can enter this meeting that I'm in. And of course, because I'm making a screen recording, it's slowing my device down as well. So just another reminder to keep that slow. I'm going to turn this video off to save some bandwidth and this off. So I'm going to join this meeting. And then when I'm finished with a meeting, that might sound like, oh, that's the sound that indicates that the time is up and I'm off to another meeting, as you may be as well. It was great connecting today, and I hope to see you soon. And then you will close your meeting, of course. So I end my call, and it's going to ask me, do you want to return to home screen? Boom, I go right back to my home screen, and I can jump into my next conference. Okay, so this is a way that you can help kind of just streamline yourself. And these buttons are bigger, so I just think it's easier to navigate conference next through the Meets homepage. Just again, in any Google thing that you're in, when you click on these 9 apps, Meet has its own homepage. Okay. I could also look at my calendar, but again, I think that navigating to those buttons, I just don't want you to hit the wrong button and then be in a conference that the other parent is not in. Okay. So that might be easier for you. Okay. The other thing to help organize yourself is that I know that in Take Note, you probably have already read these tips that Joanna and the teaching and learning team kind of put in for what could a sample conference structure be? What are some templates that you could set up for this? And Jenny actually sent me hers that she has this sent up for herself for her grade 9 about the times, who the student is, and then celebrations and suggestions. It's nice to have that set up for yourself. before you jump into those conferences as well. So that might be a tab that you have open. I also included in Take Note this Power School screen, parent-teacher conferences, quick video reviewing some screens. This is just screens that can show individual student gradebooks, so that if you wanted to share your screen for some reason with a parent, you could do the Present Now feature and not actually show your whole class data, but just for that student, if they're wondering why a grade is trending the way it is, or anything else that you want to show them. All right, so that is organizing yourself. So we talked about how you can change the name on the Google Calendar events. And we also talked about using that, I think this is like the icon, using the Meet, that Google Meet as your home base instead of Google Calendar, because it will show the meetings nice and organized, and then just have your other tabs open, a few that have the student work. All right. So our last tip is going to be around timing in the events. So I'm going to just review with you, which you probably already know, how the timer works. So since our meetings are about 9 minutes long each, I am going to go up to this timer, and where it says minute, I might even put in 8 minute 30 seconds, or however that happens. So I'm just going to say, for this sake, 2 seconds, but you can put in 9 minutes and then you push the check button. I'm going to put in here 2 seconds just so you can see the timer and how it goes off. So it counts up 1, 2. And then it plays this gentle and polite sound where you then might say something like, oh, our time is up for the day. It was so great to talk to you. I know that timing can be awkward. So here's where I end, return to home screen. And I want to talk a little bit about that. So I know that parents are really eager to talk to you, and 9 minutes might not feel like enough for them. And it's sometimes hard to be polite in saying, I have to go now because you have another meeting, and that parent might be in the call, and you want to make sure that you don't steal their time. So I came up with just a few sentence stems, chatting with Joanna and Jenny about what can we say to parents that feels comfortable to us, that we're being polite, and that really gets us out of the situation of going over on time. So in the beginning, when you set your timer, I think it's important to tell the parents we're setting a timer. So you might say something like, as you may have noticed, we only have 9 minutes together, and I'm going to use a built-in timer to help us keep track of time out of respect for you. I know you have a lot of conferences as well as myself. So I'm setting the timer at 9 minutes, and let's get started. Of course, make it your own. But just to let them know that they have 9 minutes together and that there is going to be a timer, because then they know what that sound is when it does ding. And at the end, you could say something like, oh, that sound indicates our time is up. I'm off to another meeting. It was so great to connect with you. I look forward, to next quarter with your child. Or if you feel like you need to say, I know we still have some things to talk about. Let's follow up on an email, and feel free to email me. So depending on if you have to follow up with that parent or not, maybe we want to just keep it, that sound indicates our time is up. It was so good to talk to you. I would love to talk to you more, but I'm off to another meeting, as you might be as well. And then you'll be able to hang up that call. So those are the tips that I have for you today. Optimize your device. Please restart. Don't open a lot of tabs. Organize yourself. I prefer using this Google Meet screen instead of just the calendar. In cases like this where I have so many meetings. And don't forget to set that timer. And I hope that this can, help you feel ready and empowered and ready to go. Remember, you are the best, and get yourself set up that you have some chocolate or something that you want to eat, and also some coffee. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch the video today, and I will see you again on Thursday.